Hello and welcome back. I'm Georgia, and in real time, I've just finished filming my everything I knit in 2025. No, everything I knit in 2025. I was planning originally to do that and also kind of go through what I wanted to make in 2026. I waffled, I really did. So it took longer to get through things than I thought it would. So I'm kind of thinking this will be a separate video just so that I don't end up making basically a documentary. Um, so I think that's what we'll do. So I thought I'd just go through everything that I kind of have my eye on to make in 2026, and also what I had my eye on to make in 2025, and what I did make in that and what I didn't. And also, I saw people do knitting bingo, which I thought was such a fun idea. So I thought I'd also run you guys through my knitting bingo, which was just so fun to make. I would really recommend like just taking the time to like make your own. I think I'll print mine out and cross things off as I do them. I thought I'd run you guys through what I wanted to make in 2025 because I kind of picked out like maybe 10 things. I can count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, so I had 10 things that I told myself I wanted to make in 2025 at the beginning. And out of those 10 things, I made 3, which isn't great. The 3 things that I did make was I made the porcelain sweater, and I made the Amy sweater, and I made the cloud sweater. So I think the first 3 projects of 2025 were pretty on track. But then it went off piste a little bit because I didn't knit the Book Club cardigan by Sari Nordlin, even though it looks adorable and I would really like to make it at some point. I just did not get around to making it. I didn't make the chestnut dress because I just couldn't decide on what yarn and colour I wanted to make it. I thought I wanted green and then I ummed and ahed. I just don't know. I also didn't make the Salcombe sweater. Salcombe sweater? Again, which would have been just a really nice striped sweater. I feel like stripes were really having their moment and I do love a striped piece, but I didn't make it. I didn't make sweater 15. I didn't make the Songbird mittens by Erica Heusser, and I would actually really love to make those at some point. I think they're just so cute, and I don't think it was anything to do with the pattern. I think I just can't decide what colours to make because I just think everything looks adorable. So I think maybe I just need to make multiple pairs and like gift some so that it kind of, because at the moment I think not knowing what colours to use is kind of stopping me from making them. So I think I need to do that. And then I didn't make sweater number 11 by My Favourite Things. I didn't make the Moby sweater, and I really like that. I think it's just such a classic cable. I really would like to make that at some point. I just don't know when I will. And I didn't make the no frill sweater, but I think I did make the Monday sweater, and I think that was like a good alternative because I basically just wanted a basic raglan to make kind of a hand-dyed sweater with like some nice like variegated yarn. Is variegated the right word? I'm thinking of a leaf when I think of that, with the different colours. So I think that was okay in the end. That wasn't too bad. But yeah, that's not great on my end. I really don't stick to things apparently. But I have some things that I want to make in 2026, and hopefully I stick to this a bit more faithfully. It's not a bad thing, I guess, if I go off-piste. It's kind of just what I want to make. But I also would quite like to have some of these items, so hopefully I do actually make them. And so I've got how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't have 13, do I? A-level maths. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, I do have 13. So I have 13 things for 2026. That is just a random number. But yeah, let's get into it. I'm sorry if the angle changes slightly during these videos. I have just been quite paranoid about filming storage, so the way you are might change a little bit just while I check the phone, because I have trust issues now. So, the 13 things I want to knit in 2026. For full disclosure, it is the 28th of January. I have started some of these things now. And oh, I didn't have 13 things. Wait, I can't count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I knew I didn't have 13 things. I was just counting lines, which are just like, some of them are like the yarns I want to use and things I just can't count. So that's good. I feel like 10 is more achievable. Yeah, more realistic. Okay, I'm glad. I was kind of regretting putting 13 things down, so that's good. But one of the things I really want to make is the Lillehammer sweater by Dale Design. I was in Norway for just about a month in kind of November, December of last year, and I just kept seeing it everywhere I went, and I think it's such a classic design, and I just really want to make one. I wasn't like willing to like bite the bullet and buy one from one of the kind of touristy trap places in Norway, just because it was so expensive. So I figured it would also be quite nice to be able to make my own. So I'm going to use not the Dale Design recommended yarn, I don't think, but I am going to use a Norwegian brand. So I am going to use Sandnes Garn. I'm using Double Sunday because I just love that yarn so much. I think it's just the softest thing. So I'm using partly some new yarn. So I've got a blue and a white and a dark blue that I'm using, and I think I also got a dark red from them. And for the rest of it, I'm kind of using up some scrap yarns for like the little details that you have along like the cuffs and things and the shoulders, just so that I'm not buying just one ball of yarn to use for maybe like, I don't know, like a few grams of it. I'm trying to be a bit economical in that way. But yeah, I'm so excited to make it. I can't wait to wear that in the winter. And imagine on like a snowy day wearing it. I just think it would be so cute. Yeah. And the next thing I want to make is I drafted a pattern for a cardigan, but there are some things that I would change about the one that I made last year. So what I've started doing, because we're late January right now, so I've already started it, is trying to make one based on those changes, another one. So I thought I'd make a red one because I feel like red is just such like it's a classic colour. I think it will be really nice to wear and it'll be nice and bright. I do enjoy like wearing like nice bright colours, kind of cheer myself up. So hopefully that will turn out quite nice. I will keep you updated with that. I do try to like update where I'm at on patterns on my Instagram stories, but I'm also not great at that. I'm trying to get better. But yeah, the next thing I want to make is the Happy Street Slipover by Kiki, which is just the cutest vest. I think it would just be so nice to wear in spring. I'm hoping I get around to it in time to wear in like February, March. We'll see. I do need to buy the yarns for it, and I don't know which yarn to go for. So if anyone has any suggestions, but it's just like the cutest little vest. I love the houses along the bottom. In my mind, I'm thinking of like quite pastel colours, or like having kind of like a rainbow thing where you have one house be each colour of the rainbow, like all the way around, would be really cute. So yeah, so many things I could do. I think Kiki went for like a base of white, a white base for hers. I think I would either do that or I would go for like a light blue, so it's a little bit like the sky. I think that would also be quite cute, but we shall see. But I'm really excited to make it. And then the other thing that I really want to make is the Sookie sweater by Woozy by Celine, who I think started off making that as a cardigan and then adapted it so that she had a sweater version as well. And I discovered, I'm wearing it now actually, which is handy. I discovered Schneffnug by Camera Rose is just like the softest yarn ever, and I love it so much. It's a blown alpaca, and I think it's 55% alpaca, 35% merino, 10% cotton, or maybe it's the other way around for the merino and cotton. I think it's the other way around. It's so lovely, and I really want to make another thing in this yarn. So I thought that would be a nice choice for it, because it's just kind of like a kind of boxy, kind of oversized, cozy sweater. I really like the detailing. I think it's either double knit or stockinette. I really need to check these things. But I didn't check before I filmed, so it might be, it might not be. But I really want to make it in kind of like a lilac shade. I think that would just be so cute, and just a nice cheery sweater to wear in the spring, and just generally when I want to be cheered up a bit. But I'm really excited to make that and also wear it. I can't wait. The other thing that I really want to make is the Honey Bear and Friends scarf by Catherine Kuntz. I feel like her scarves are having a moment. I feel like all of a sudden I'm seeing them all over Instagram, and rightly so. They're so nice. They're so cute. She has kind of like different design motifs for each of her scarves, and this one is, I think, a nod towards Winnie the Pooh, and I just love Winnie the Pooh so much, and I feel like I just need this scarf. It is worked double knit, so that the pattern you're creating on one side is like the inverse of the other side. I think it is just such a lovely idea, and I can't wait to wear it. The only thing is double knitting an entire scarf might break me. We'll have to see. It might take me like quite a few months / the whole year, just because I feel like it's not a project I can just work solely on. I feel like I need to take breaks from it quite a bit, because it does take a lot of concentration. It's not very mindless, but I really hope I have it to wear for next winter. I feel like that would just make me so much happier, and like so much more okay with having to survive through the winter. The next thing I want to have a go at making is, I really want to have a go at trying to design a kind of colour work sweater, like all over colour work, because I've had it in my head that I've wanted to make like a specific design for ages. I'd really like to make like a lighthouse type sweater. I'm a really big fan of the artist Angela Harding, and she has these like amazing kind of landscapes of the UK, and I love being by the sea, and so just the idea of having like a sweater which has the kind of like lighthouse and the ocean would just be so cool. And I think in her prints she kind of sometimes has this kind of like silvery effect, so I thought about maybe like holding a yarn with like a lace weight kind of like silvery yarn. I think that would just be so cute. So yeah, that is quite ambitious. I don't know how well that's going to go, but I feel like now that I kind of understand dimensions a bit more, that would be quite fun to try and create. But we'll see how that goes. I would like to use, like, I've got quite a few photos of when I lived by the coast in Ireland, so I could maybe use those as kind of a source of inspiration. But we'll see. The other thing I really want to make is the caramel sweater by petiteknit. I think I just really want to try and make kind of a staple turtleneck that I actually do wear. So I tried that with the Amy sweater, but I just don't seem to wear it. I thought about trying to make like a staple black turtleneck that I can just kind of wear all the time in like multiple different like event scenarios. So I'm going to try that. I think I'm going to use double Sunday for that as well. It's become a bit of a fixation for me, I think. But yeah, not much more to say about that. The other one I really want to make, oh my gosh, I really want to make the Froya sweater. I think it's just it's just gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I love the cables. I think they just seem so dainty, and I've just never seen like a cable sweater just look so elegant, like especially like an oversized like chunkier one. I just think it's gorgeous, and I was desperate to make it this winter, but I just couldn't buy like more yarn when I had yarn for other projects, so I thought, okay, I'll save it till next winter, and I honestly cannot wait to like knit it up. I think that's what I will definitely be making. I just can't see a world in which I don't have that. It's just so nice. And then I am going to make the Songbird mittens this year. I will make them. I just think I need to like bite the bullet and pick some colours, because I think I just can't decide what colours to make it in, and then I just don't make it as a result. But I think I just need to get over that and just make it. I think I'd go for either just like a classic, white and blue. But I also really like the idea of like a cream, like beige, and like a light brown. Because I forgot to mention actually the scarf, the honey bear and friend scarf. I'm gonna make that in like a beige and a dark brown, and I really love the look of that. But I also don't know for the mittens, because I think like a white and like a pink would look so cute as well. I've seen people make it in like green and white as well. I think that just looks so nice. So maybe I'll just have to make multiple pairs for other people as well. I think maybe that will just have to be done. And then the other one I've been seeing, I don't know if I have written this down right, the Marielle blouse? Marielle blouse? If I've written that down wrong, I'm sorry. I'll put it on the screen. But I feel like I saw this and just instantly fell in love. I just love the little like eyelets in it. I've been looking for kind of like a sweater that has kind of like sort of a little bit of a lace motif going on. And I think that would just look so nice in literally any colour. But I was thinking particularly like a buttery blue, or maybe like a sage would also be so nice. So I would really love to get around to that. I think it is just would be so nice to wear in the spring, but also like the summer, and then it would just cheer me up in the winter. I really love just having some like pastely cheerily colours. So yeah, I would love to make that too. Yeah, and that's, oh, I think you're a bit wonky. Sorry guys. I had to check again. I was really paranoid that I wasn't filming. But yeah, that is everything I want to make, the 10 things I'd like to make in 2026. We will see how I go. I do reserve the right to change my mind if something else comes up, but hopefully those are some things I would really like to be able to knit and wear, so hopefully I do get around to them. But I thought I'd also go through like what my knitting bingo is, because I think it's just such a fun idea. So I'll put it on the screen so you can see it with me. But I will go from the top left and work my way through. But the first thing on my bingo card is I'd really like to knit some socks. I have never knit socks before. We'll see if I actually do it. I think I'm a bit nervous about it just because there's kind of no margin for error, room for error even, when it comes to socks, because they kind of have to fit. It's kind of hard to make an oversized sock, or one that's, got a bit more negative ease. But I'd love the idea of like making some colorwork socks, or making some that would match like a sweater that I've got. I have the Daisy sweater by Silvara Knitwear, and she does have like some Daisy socks, so that would be really cute. Or I could make some like just some socks and maybe the yarn that I have like a sweater in, especially like my finer sweaters. Or I could make, like a kind of chunkier cozy sock to wear with like, I don't know, like a sweater like this. But I would like to have a go at doing that. I've also got knit my dad a sweater, because I feel like I want to be able to make sure I get around to that every year. It's not in everything I want to make in 2026 actually, so I think that's just something to remember to do this year. I also want to, I think I've already really started this because I'm filming this so late, but I would like to edit the cardigan that I made to make it like one that I'm like super happy with, and just be able to like understand how to write patterns a bit more. I think editing one that I'd made would do that. I think it would be helpful for my understanding. So yeah. I also really want to knit some mittens. I feel like I shy away from accessories for some reason, and I have no idea why, because I think they are like the quicker, easier thing to knit compared to like sweaters. So I would like to make more things that are more accessories than full-on garments, and hopefully those will be the Songbird mittens, or maybe just some like fingerless gloves for myself, because I feel like I haven't really made those for myself yet. And then I'd also really like to knit a summer top. I feel like often I'm very like winter, autumn oriented, and I do like big cozy projects, but I feel like a summer top would be a good way to push myself out of my comfort zone and see if I would actually wear a summer top that I'd knit, because I think I would. I don't know what I'd make, but maybe like a tank top, or just like a more like airy fabric that's made in like cotton maybe. I could have a go at knitting, maybe some lace. And I also want to knit more colour work. I feel like 2025 was a very stockinette year. I think mainly because I discovered I can knit and read at the same time if I'm knitting stockinette. So I think that really made me, gravitate more towards like stockinette projects. But really I can just listen to an audiobook while I'm knitting colour work. So I think maybe I just need to branch out a bit more, And I also want to branch out when it comes to designers. So I've got here to knit a new designer. So I want to have a look at kind of new designers that I haven't knit something of theirs before, which I think I've already done like quite well into the year. But yeah, I just want to challenge myself to do that a bit more. I also feel like I'm quite shy when it comes to like knitting in public. I feel like I've seen more and more people do it now because it's becoming like such a popular hobby, which is so cool. I saw someone knitting on the train and it made me really happy the other week. But I would like to just bring my hobby with me and just be able to, like, when I'm traveling and I've got that extra time, that I would be like, no, maybe twiddling my thumbs really, just to be able to like knit. So I've got knit on a train, and I'd also quite like to try and knit on a plane. I don't know, I get scared that they're going to take my knitting needles off me, even though they're like wooden and wouldn't hurt a fly. I don't know, maybe I just need to get over that. I think that's maybe just a quirk. Oh, I also want to go on a 2-month yarn ban. I'm trying to do that at the beginning of the year so that I'm like very much sticking to the projects that I bought yarn for, and I'm not like going too off piste, just financially as well. I think it would be sensible for me to like stick a bit more faithfully to what I am planning to knit and already have the yarn for. Yeah. Also, I'd quite like to try and go to like a crafty festival. I feel like there aren't too many in my region, but I feel like there are like a fair amount in the UK, so I would like to try and like go to one. I think would be so fun to see all the stalls and just be around other people that are a bit obsessed with knitting too. I think that would be really nice. And I want to also like try some new things when it comes to like techniques and things. So I'd really like to steek something, which I think I will get round to with the Lillehammer sweater, because I think you do steek for the arms, but it does terrify me steeking. So I'm quite nervous about that, but I also want to try it. And the same with felting, like that terrifies me. But I feel like I've seen so many people do it with like the sailor swippers? The sailor slippers now. I'd kind of like to have a go. I'm not sure if I would make the sailor slippers. The sailor slippers. I don't know if I'd wear them, but maybe I could make them for someone else actually. Or I feel like there are like felted like handbags and things and other accessories, so I would just like to have a go at making one of those, even if it is just one. I'd also like to, in the summer, get outside and knit. I feel like I like consider it like such an indoor hobby, and on the rare occasion that it is sunny, even in the summer in the UK, maybe just kind of get myself out and start knitting, like in a park or somewhere. I think that would be really nice. I've also kind of said this before, but I really want to get around to the lighthouse sweater. I feel like I've just had this in my mind for so long. I'd like to at least try to make it a reality, even if it doesn't go very well. Oh, and I'd love to like make like a Coraline inspired sweater. There is the I think it's called the Celestial sweater, which is available to buy, but I feel like I don't think they have a pattern released. I think it is like hand knit, but they don't have a pattern. So maybe I could just have a go at trying to like make a loosely inspired one, a bit like that sweater, because that is quite like the Coraline sweater. But we will see. I think it is such a cute design. I think if I wasn't a knitter myself, I'd definitely buy it. But yeah, I think that would be also just really fun to have. It would be great for kind of autumn, especially around the spooky season, especially around the spooky season. And then I also want to try a new stitch. I have no idea what that stitch would be, but I want to try it. Not much else to say. And this one's quite ambitious. I might change it actually. I did have finish all whips for the new year, but I feel like I don't need that. I think maybe I would change that to kind of doing more sweater surgery instead, because I feel like I want to make sure that I'm like going back and changing projects that I maybe don't wear as much for like not very serious reasons. And yeah, on the not making too many like accessories point, maybe make a bag. I don't think I did make one, but it wasn't with a pattern and it was quite loose. And so it kind of just sagged. And so it wasn't very good as a bag. So maybe this time, if I follow a pattern and maybe actually put a lining in, I think that might be nice. It might be a good idea. I also want to try a new yarn, which I think I probably will do this year, just to make sure that I'm trying new things and not just sticking to what I know. I also really want to make a cable sweater, which I think I will do if I make the Froya sweater, just because I didn't get round to making one this year, and I think I am craving making a cabled sweater. I also thought about maybe making like a hair accessory, again with the accessories, but maybe like, you know, like a headband or something, or like a scrunchie, and maybe one that matches the sweater I think would look just so cute. And then I also want to try crocheting something because I do crochet, but I just like knitting so much, but I would like to like maybe see if I could crochet something this year. I think I'd have to find the right pattern because I think I do prefer knitting in general. But just to make sure I don't like lose the ability to crochet, I think it would be good to crochet something this year. And then I've just put make accessories there, even though I've put in other places that I, you know, different accessories that I want to make. But I guess it counts. Maybe I should change that too, but my mind has gone blank on what to like put there instead. Maybe that's a bit of a cheat putting that one there. Yeah, that is, I think, everything I wanted to go through. So if you're still here, thank you so much for watching, and hopefully I do actually get around to making some of these things.